Very good morning, friends. So, today's topic of discussion is going to be the newly released form, which was recently released on 15th of July 2020. So, the heading of this form was Reconciliation of Share Capital Audit Report, half yearly. The name of the form is PAS 6. So, today's point of discussion would be around this form, PAS 6E form. So, we are going to discuss the various kind of problems we are going to face. So let's just start. Like this form, there is a short guide which has been provided in the help kit. So in the part one, the help kit is going to elaborate the laws which are going to govern the e-form, section and rule numbers. So rule 9A defines that issue of securities in dematerialized form by unlisted public companies, like number one, every unlisted public company shall issue the securities only in dematerialized form, and B part facilitate dematerialization of all its existing securities. So rule 9A clearly states that every unlisted public company, the securities of unlisted public companies must be in dematerialized form. It should only be in dematerialized form. And if there exist certain securities which are not in dematerialized form, then the unlisted public company should facilitate the dematerialization of all those existing securities in accordance with the provisions of Depository Act 1996 and the regulations made thereunder. Now, the Rule 9A, second point. Every unlisted public company making any offer for issue of any securities or buyback of securities or issue of bonus shares or right offer shall ensure that before making such offer, entire holding of securities of its promoters, directors, KMPs, which is key managerial personnel, has been dematerialized in accordance with the provision of the Depositories Act 1996. So, the second point of Rule 9A states that any security or buyback of securities, issue of bonus shares or right shares. So right offers. So there are four kinds like securities, then buyback of securities, then bonus shares and right offer. So before making any offer for issue, the entire holding means entire holding, the complete holding of securities of its promoters. There are three types of persons mentioned here: the promoters, directors, and KMPs. They must be dematerialized as per the Depository Act 1996. Now, the third point of Rule 9A states that every holder of securities of an unlisted public company, so there are a number of points, like the point A, who intends to transfer such securities on or after 2nd October 2018 shall get such securities dematerialized. It, it means it is very clear that if you want to transfer any shares, since we are in the year 2020, so it's a must for us that before continuing with this form, our securities must be in dematerialized form. Okay. So now B point. Who subscribes to any securities of an unlisted public company, whether by way of private placement or bonus shares or right shares, on or after 2nd of October 2018, shall ensure that all his existing securities are held in dematerialized form. So dematerialization is a must for this form. So next, the fourth point of Rule 9A. Every unlisted public company shall facilitate dematerialization of all its existing securities by making necessary application to the depository. The fifth point is every unlisted public company shall ensure that it makes timely payment of fees for what? To depositories and to registrar, to an issue and share transfer agent in accordance with the agreement executed between the parties, the companies and the depository, the company and the registrar of the issue, the company and the share transfer agent. B point of the B point of fifth point of Rule 9A. It says it It maintains security deposit at all times. The company must maintain security deposit at all times of not less than 2 years fees with the depository and the registrar to an issue and share transfer agent in such form as may be agreed. But it's a compulsion on the company that the company should make timely payment of fees. The company should maintain a security deposit not less than 2 years with a depository and registrar to an issue and share transfer agent. C point. It complies with the regulations or directions or guidelines or circulars, if any, issued by the Securities and Exchange Board or depository from time to time with respect to dematerialization of shares of unlisted public companies and matters incidental or related thereto. Now, the sixth point of Rule 9A. No unlisted public company which has defaulted in Sub Rule 5. Here, the fifth point we studied above, shall make offer of any securities or buy back its securities or issue any bonus or right shares till the payment to depositories or registrar to an issue and share transfer agent are made. It's a compulsion. Now, the seventh point of Rule 9A, except as provided in Sub-Rule 8, the provision of the Depositories Act 1996, the Securities and the Exchange Board of India, and the Securities and the Exchange Board of India, it's the Depositories and Participants Third Regulation, and the Exchange Board of India, Registrars to an Issue and Share Transfer Agents Regulation 1993, shall apply mutandis as it is to dematerialization of securities of unlisted public companies. The eighth point is every unlisted public company governed by this rule shall submit Form PAS 6. Now, the today's point of discussion, PAS 6. Now, every unlisted public company governed by this rule shall submit Form PAS 6 to the registrar with such fee as may be provided in the companies within 60 days. So the time limit is 60 days. Now, Rule 9A.8a. The company shall immediately bring to the notice of the depositories any difference observed in its issued capital and the capital held in dematerialized form. Here, shall, it's must. The company must immediately bring to the notice of the depositories any differences observed in the issued capital and the capital held in dematerialized form. Means, suppose we have to compare the issued capital and the shares already in dematerialized form. Means there exists a possibility that the holders of the shares might be holding those shares in physical form. So, in order to match those things, the company shall immediately bring notice that yeah, we have 80% of our share capital in dematerialized form and 20% in the physical form. So, if a shareholder submit a request for dematerialization with the company, then the difference must be immediately provided to the depositories. Now, point number 9 of Rule 9A. The grievances, if any, of security holders of unlisted public companies under this rule shall be filed before the Investor Education and Protection Fund IEPF authority. 10th point, Rule 9A. The Investor Education Protection Fund IEPF authority shall initiate any action against the depository or participants. Now, point number 11 of Rule 9A. It's an exemption, like which kind of unlisted public companies are exempted, like a Nidhi company, a government company, and a wholly owned subsidiary company. Now, the main point, which I think, from my point of view, you were waiting for it and you listened to me through this time. So, let's discuss how to fill this e form. So, the instructions which are being provided by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs is the instructions to fill the e form are tabulated at field level. Only important fields that require detailed instructions to be filed in e form are explained, like in the part A, section A is field name CIN. You're very well aware it's a company incorporation number, identification number. Enter a valid SIN. You must check that the CIN number of a company is proper and valid. Means you have to select that you which the number SIN number you are feeding is correct. You have to recheck it the spelling mistake, the numerical mistake, the clerical errors. There should not exist any possibility of the clerical errors. So it's a suggestion like you may find sin by entering the existing registration number or name of the company in the find sin service available under the menu MC services available on the MCA website. Now pre-fill button. After entering the sin number, pre-fill button. So we have to click the pre-fill button. System will automatically display the name. Now the third point is ISIN. We have to enter the ISIN number. All the information shall be furnished for the half year ended 30th September and 31st March in every financial year for each ISIN separately. So if you are having two ISIN, then you have to fill the form 4 times in a year. First two for the September and first two for the March for two ISIN obviously. If you are holding one ISIN, then you have to fill this form twice in the year, in for the year ended half year ended 30th of September and for the second half year ended 31st of March. Now the fifth point of discussion, details of company capital. We have to enter the issued details of issued capital number of shares along with a percentage of the total issued capital. Now second point is enter total number of shares which are held in dematerialized form or physical form. Now, next point is details of changes in share capital during the half year under consideration as per table below. We have to enter the details of changes in the share capital in the form of rights, bonus, private placements, ESOPs, amalgamation, conversion, buyback, capital reduction, forfeiture, and others. Details of shares held by. Enter the details of shares held by promoters, directors, and KMPs in the form of demat or physical. So, I'll be making a separate video giving you a live demo of how to file PAS 6. So stay tuned, subscribe to my channel. Have a nice day.